Saturday, May 10th, 2025. Good morning. So I was driving up into the Spring Mountains this morning, and about 5:30, a few minutes ago, right before I got to the trailhead, there comes the sun. I was going about 55 miles per hour, and I saw these two large animals on the road, or crossing the road in front of me. So I was able to slow down because I believe, there's donkeys up here. I had seen plenty of them as I had been driving up. But no, they were not donkeys. There were two enormous bull elk. I have been hiking up in the mountains outside of Las Vegas for 20 years. I've heard people say that we have elk. I've seen plenty of wild horses, and again, donkeys. Never. I thought, there's no way we have elk up here. That's impossible. It's not impossible. I saw two gorgeous bull elk with racks. I couldn't hit my brakes fast enough. I didn't have my cell phone out. By the time I was able to do my cell phone, they ran off over the side of the road and the embankment and left. But I know whether I took a picture or not. They were there. And I am so happy to have had the privilege to see their gorgeous, gorgeous bodies, antlers, all of the above. They had big, healthy behinds, gorgeous animals. I don't believe that a mountain lion would be dumb enough to go after them. So they've probably been up here their entire lives. And glorious morning for many, many reasons. I'm doing a 9-mile hike with a 27-pound pack. And, of course, if you've been following my channel, I am training for my backpacking trip in 6 weeks to go from Onion Valley up Kearsarge Pass, up Forester Pass, and then hopefully summiting Mount Whitney again this year. You can go back in my videos and see that I summited last July 2024. I said I wouldn't do it again because it was the hardest thing I've ever done, and yes, it was the hardest thing I've ever done. Then I thought, you know what? Why not? I was able to get another permit to exit through the Whitney portal, which I hear are very hard to get. So I thought, why not? At least one more time. I know they say the mountain has a certain draw for humans, and I can definitely attest to that. It definitely does. Yeah, so I am in the elevation of probably 8,300 feet, 8,300. I came up here very early. I usually do, but it's going to be 95 degrees down in the valley in Vegas today. So that means it's going to be warm up here. And this trail takes you down in elevation a lot, which means that it's going to be warm. When I say warm, it's going to be hot, because in the desert you can add about 15 degrees to the outside temperature when the sun hits you. So if it's going to be 70, it'll be 85 on the trail, and I don't really enjoy that. So yeah, I'm doing it early so I can get a start on this cool morning. It's only like maybe 50 degrees right now, which is very nice. So when you hear the birds chirping as loudly as they are this morning, it's going to be a hot day. 6:30 and it's already 60 degrees. It's going to be a scorcher. Whew. I can already tell just from the stillness of the air. Yeah, it's going to be a hot one. At least up here in the mountains, which I'm starting to get acclimated to the heat because it just recently went up to the 90s down in the valley, and it's difficult when the temperature kind of skips spring. It goes from the 40s and the 50s to the 90s like in 2 weeks. So that's the way it is in the desert. And every time I come out of the shade of the trees, you can just feel the sun's beating down on you. And this is a very rocky portion of the trail. Yeah, just rocks. So there are horses that come up here. So people come riding, and they, of course, the trail gets disturbed. We'll just be very PC about it. And then I end up having to walk on some sketchy rocks. Yeah, but from up here the views are glorious. Look at that. The vast, very vast, empty expanse of Nevada, where 90% of the state is federal lands, and we have lots of bombing ranges, and they used to do nuclear testing until just recently, a few decades ago, and that was a massive burn area just maybe 4 or 5 years ago. Yes, the desert does burn because we do have pinyon pine and ponderosa, juniper. So, but it is a beautiful morning. Again, no one here. And it seems like as it gets hotter and hopefully the snow continues melting out with this heat, I'll be able to start going higher up in elevation. Because I'm trying to get up to 11,000 feet at least 3 or 4 times before my backpacking trip, just to not just get my body acclimated, but get my legs used to, my lungs getting up there with such a big pack on my back. And I am using my Durston Kakwa 55 again for this trip. I used it last year and it was fantastic. It weighs a little bit less than 2 pounds. I think it's made with Ultra 200, so it's waterproof except for the seams where the water can get in. So I'm still debating whether I should take a pack cover, because I am definitely going to take my schnozzle, which will be my pack liner, where I will put my quilt, my sleep clothes, all my extras, my puffy, and it's my Enlightened Equipment synthetic jacket, which is only 7 ounces, but I've found that it kept me much warmer than a down jacket, and it's very lightweight. It's very nice. I really like it. And the inside is orange, so if anything happens to me, I can take it out and signal, and they can see me with that orange. And here's the part of the trail that I really like. Those are conglomerate rocks. Here we go. All right, so I just arrived at the catch pan, and I just saw a fox running away. So he was up here drinking. He had a big red bushy tail, beautiful. Obviously, I did not have my cell phone camera on, but there are fox up here. So today I've seen 2 bull elk, a fox. I don't want to see a mountain lion. I would like to see anything but that. And this is what they're drinking from. Let me take you down there. It's a pretty good source. Usually later on in the summer, it's dried up. But for right now, plenty of water for these animals. Wow, I cannot believe I saw a fox. That's a first for me again. A fox. I haven't seen one before. Not out here. And obviously the donkeys are coming out here. Yeah, there's a seep right here. See where I'm stepping? It's all mud. Yep, there's water in there. So, what's in there? Oh, it's a big old bee. I got stuck in there. Oh well. So, when the fox heard me coming, it ran that way. Huh. Wow. So yeah, this is where all the wild animals come to drink. Probably at night. If you set up a trail cam right here on this tree, you could catch some amazing video. So I've seen 3 large black lizards on the trail. And that tells me, as a desert dweller, that if the lizards are out, so are the rattlesnakes. And I need to be very careful. About where I step, because they've been known to be right on the trail, and they can look like a stick, but they're not a stick. Sticks don't bite you. All right, so I'm at the lowest portion. Now it's all uphill from here. Oh no. Let's see what we have here. Congratulations, graduate. Nice. I wish people would stop letting balloons go.